Hello again, my lovely seniors in Honors World Lit. Welcome to the week of October the 5th. That's right, it's already October. You are 6 weeks into your senior year now. This is your sixth week of school, and we are going to actually begin reading Siddhartha this week, our book. It's also called Siddhartha, so whichever way you say it is fine with me. So if you are watching this video, then you already know that to click watch this first, but I would like to bring something to your attention. There is an extra video under watch this first this week to help you with your first No Red Ink growth quiz. So pay attention to that. You'll need it here in just a little bit. Your first thing, as usual, is to make sure that you are getting your 30 minutes of MBean each week with 50% or better accuracy before midnight Sunday. Now, guys, y'all are seniors, so you know that if your accuracy has fallen below 50%, you're trying to do too much at one time. So if you find your accuracy falling below 50%, then you need to cut your sessions in half or even by thirds. Do two 15-minute sessions or three 10-minute sessions instead. Make sure you get it done by midnight Sunday. Number 2 is your first growth quiz for No Red Ink. So you will click on No Red Ink, click on the link here and go to it. You'll complete the assignment entitled Growth Quiz Misplaced Modifiers. You'll complete the exercises there, and there are 20 of them total. And when you finish, come back and mark this assignment as done. I'm not going to click on this because the video that's under Watch This First goes through the entire 20-question quiz with you. It's not your quiz, it's a different quiz, but it shows you how to do all the questions on it. So it should be some pretty good help for you if you feel like you need it. Make sure that you do not do that growth quiz until after you finished your practice for No Red Ink from last week, though. Next is your Siddhartha Anticipation Guide. So view this assignment to start pondering some of the very large questions that are explored in Siddhartha, because it's a deep book. We are going to work through an anticipation guide considering some of those very questions. So click the link below to open the form entitled Siddhartha Anticipation Guide, then follow these directions. Siddhartha is a short but philosophically dense book that will challenge your preconceived notions about yourself and the world around you. Before we begin reading, you take some time to respond to each of the questions below. The questions are centered around themes from Siddhartha, and each includes a statement to consider in your response, although the statements may not necessarily be true. So the kinds of statements here are questions and statements are what is wisdom? Consider the possibility that wisdom and knowledge are the same, or maybe not. Number 2, what is the definition of sin? Consider if you commit a sin, you're a bad person, or are you? Number 3, what does it mean to rely on someone? Consider you can always rely on parents to tell you the right thing to do, or can you? Number 4, what does it mean to be unselfish? Consider it is impossible to be completely unselfish. Number 5, what are a parent's responsibilities toward their children? Consider a parent should provide for their child's wants and needs. Number 6, what does it mean to know yourself? Consider it is possible to know yourself completely. 7, what is a true friend? Consider true friends never give up on each other. Number 8, what is true love? Consider love can be an occupation, that is, it can be purchased and sold. Number 9, how do you get wisdom? Consider wisdom is attained through formal education. Number 10, what is temptation? Consider temptation is not always bad. Now remember, each of these consider statements are not necessarily true. It's just something to think about and a way to think through the question and maybe even couch your answer to the question. When you get finished, make sure you hit submit. Close that up. Mark it as done. Number 4. Okay, so I've handed physical copies of Siddhartha to my students who are face-to-face. And I've sent all of you who are virtual an email telling you how to come and get a copy if you want a copy for yourself. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 copies left. So I do still have some physical copies left. However, it's a very short book, so I just went ahead and scanned the actual pages from the book. So this is the actual text that we are using. They are very short. That was not one chapter, so they're very short. This first text is, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages long, not even a full 5 pages. The next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages, and so forth and so on. There are 4 of them total, one for each chapter. You need to make sure that you do your best to read all of these this week. You actually are supposed to start on the 5th chapter this week as well, but I'll add that into next week's reading. As you are reading these texts, you have number 5 to complete. So view the assignment. Number 5 is your guided reading questions for Siddhartha. Even though it is brief, Siddhartha is a complex novel, so you need to use the guided reading questions below to help you understand the important events and themes of this story. So before you read each chapter, open the form of the same title. So here is the Son of the Brahmin guided reading questions. That's chapter 1. And there are 8 questions to answer. Some of these will require a word or two. Some of them will require a sentence or two. Some of them may require a short paragraph, but they will all be very necessary for you to really understand. Also, make sure that each one of these guided reading questions forms has a note at the top of it. Read this chapter with something in mind. So in this case, it's read this chapter with the first noble truth in mind. Existence is suffering because, and as you read the chapter, start thinking about, does this chapter demonstrate the Buddhist idea that existence is suffering? When you finish each one of these, click submit. Now, I'm going to list these as being due on next Tuesday. So make sure you're working through these. You should be able to finish one of these every couple of nights because the reading schedule is very loose. So make sure that you've got all 4 of these chapters, which is 1/3 of the book, done by next Tuesday. We will read 4 chapters a week, which is not a whole lot, and finish this 100-page book in 3 weeks. At least that's the plan. All right, guys, that is it for this week. If you have any questions about any of this work that you're supposed to do this week, make sure that you let me know. Email me if you need to, or even better, you can sit with me during the Google Meet at 2 o'clock on Friday. Be glad to see you there. I hope I get to see you soon. And again, if you need any help, let me know.